pointing over that mess that all over the place, over that mess that was triggered by the sudden and unprecedented closure of airspace around El Paso earlier this week. There's a lot of talk of communications breakdowns being blamed for the chaos that it created. One official now saying that President Trump's aides view this as a, quote, F up by the FAA, not the Pentagon. While the federal government seems to be trying to pass off blame all over the place, the mayor of El Paso was on our show yesterday morning, and he said that the city that was hit with this sudden shutdown, has still not heard anything from Washington. Listen.
We still have no correspondence. We don't know anything more today than we knew yesterday. All we did is we woke up and airspace is shut down for 10 days, and that's what we're going on today. I mean, the stories that you're reporting about drones and balloons and things, that's the information we're getting.
Joining us right now, CNN's Pete Muntean. I mean, Pete, where is this? What is going on here?
All of our reporting, Kate, really underscores this breakdown in communication between every federal agency involved here. What's clear from key government officials is that the FAA's decision to halt flights around El Paso caught parts of the Trump administration off guard, and now there's this intense blame game unfolding inside the White House. Remember, this all centers on a counter-drone system in use near the border. The technology uses what's called a high-energy laser, and that laser uses concentrated heat to disable drones. Now, sources tell me FAA officials were concerned about the system's deployment at Fort Bliss, which is nearby El Paso International Airport, and its potential harm to civilian flights landing and departing there. Two senior administration officials tell CNN that the White House was furious with the FAA for shutting down the airspace. One top official telling us that FAA Administrator Brian Bedford decided to close the airspace without alerting the White House, Pentagon, or Homeland Security officials. But other parts of the administration are pointing fingers in the other direction, questioning why Homeland Security and the Pentagon were using this laser without fully coordinating with the FAA. There's also pretty big disagreement about who knew what, who knew when. The one source disputes that the White House was kept in the dark, saying that the National Security Council senior staff there and Homeland Security Council senior staff were told in advance that a temporary flight restriction was coming. The bottom line here, I know it sounds like a mess, this really has sparked major tension inside the Trump administration about who bears responsibility for all this, who the catalyst was. None of the agencies involved here have responded to our official request for comment. You also have to set this, Kate, against the backdrop of really strained relations since last year's deadly mid-air collision over the Potomac River involving that commercial jet and an Army helicopter. And just yesterday, NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady told a Senate committee that the lack of coordination between the military and the FAA had been what she called, quote, astounding. Okay.
But you're perfectly encapsulating why this is more than just a finger-pointing exercise and blame game. Maybe nothing bad happened here with this shutdown and this breakdown in communication. But look no further than 1 year ago, and you can see how tragic it can become. And the fact that it's not a conversation of how do we make sure that this communication is more streamlined next time, and it's more, you messed up, no, you messed up. That's the scariest part about it, Pete.
And one thing I just have to mention, the FAA really gets its hide up when it comes to lasers, because that is a huge concern when it comes to civilian flights. We see all of the time, we're talking like thousands of times a year, where people will take a high-powered laser pointer and point it at commercial flights, which could temporarily blind pilots. And the most important instrument in any airplane, in any helicopter, and this happens to police helicopters also, is the pilot's eyes. And so you can see why the FAA got really concerned about this and may have gone a little far in shutting down this airspace for 10 days. Ultimately, this only lasted 8 hours.
Okay, let's see what happens in the next 8 hours with this one. Pete, thank you so much for your great reporting on this, which has been important and leading to actually getting maybe some answers. Also coming up for us